All right, we're back to talk again about what's coming up in this sermon this Sunday. Well, we are really close to getting through Matthew. I think I'm going to be for 3 more weeks in Matthew after this week, although it could just be 2. I don't remember for sure. It's something like that, 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't matter for this week, though, because we're going to be in chapters 24 and 25. So read ahead with us. I hope that you have been reading along and reading the stories that I'm not getting to talk about on Sunday morning because there's just way too much to cover. But this week, 24 and 25, and I think I'm going to kind of focus in on chapter 25. And there are two things in there in chapter 25 that I really want to focus on. The first is the story of the bridesmaids, the 10 bridesmaids. You probably remember it. I want to look at that. What is going on there? Again, asking the question that we ought to be asking. We know we're coming to the end of Jesus's time on earth very quickly. Why this story now? What purpose does it play here at the end of Jesus's ministry? And then the other big section of 25 that I want to talk about, at least a little bit, is this last judgment scene. What's going on there? What is happening with these people who didn't realize they were helping Jesus, and these others who thought they were, but they really weren't? What is going on there? A lot of good material, and I'm excited to cover it. Like I talked about this last week. I think sometimes we soften Jesus up a little bit too much. We make his life and his ministry all about these cute little aphorisms and oh, wasn't he just such a nice guy and did all these great things, and all that's very, very true. But he also had difficult judgment kinds of things to say. He was also a prophet, and the role of the prophets was always to call God's people back into right relationship with him, back to righteousness, a reconciliation, being reconciled and restored. And so Jesus has that task as well as a prophet. And we see that in chapter 25 this week. So anyway, I'll stop it for now. I hope that you will read ahead chapters 24 and 25 and be blessed as we kind of close out our time in Matthew in the next few weeks, and maybe even begin now to reflect back on these few months that we've been looking at Matthew, really more than 3 months now. What have you taken? What have you gained? What are you taking away from this? How are you changed? What stories have meant the most to you as we've gone through it? And begin to think about those things now because we don't want to lose it. I think we have a tendency to we read or we listen to a sermon or whatever, and we just kind of let it go. So now, begin to think about what we've talked about or what you've read and what's really going to go with you forward. So anyway, all right, Dad, I'm going to close it right there. I look forward to being with you all on Sunday if you can make it, and if you can't, or if you can, whatever. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed rest of this week.